The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? And?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens, jaw sets, ready for another blow.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Dark. Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Clázia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head. Yeah, you're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober. I ask for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Fantastic. So now you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys! We should get a party going tonight!
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. But you know someone who might. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside, under the rising sun, tattered and in ruins, the windows of the cafeteria aglow with her morning light. Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Goddamn right. This is Uniontown. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
work for the wrong company, and they execute you.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm too old for a shot like that now.
Suddenly, there's an awful ringing in your ears. Your body temperature spikes. You're burning all over with fear. To your right, you sense the air move. The lieutenant draws his firearm. You only manage to perform one more movement. An instinctive jerk to your left. Then, no sound. No one screams. It's impossible to say where it comes from. More dead cops. Sad news from the district of Martinez, as the bodies of 2 police officers are found floating in the canal. It is believed the officers were pursuing a murder investigation but got caught in the dock workers' strike and were gunned down under unclear circumstances. Such needless loss of life is truly tragic, a local union leader, Everett Clare, commented, and added that although the event is truly horrid, we can expect similar incidents to follow if right-wing vigilantes are allowed to run around uncontrolled and try to wriggle their way into well-organized neighborhoods. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now, Titus Hardy will never falter. But you know someone who might. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside, under the rising sun, tattered and in ruins, the windows of the cafeteria aglow with her morning light. Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Goddamn right. Don't come around if you're not from around.
Fuck you! I'm not from around. That's not why we...
There we go. Don't come to the Wild North if you are not white enough.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm, a Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? What does that mean?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions? The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see. He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. the bullet in his head.
Another nod.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Clashe came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from. They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clashe. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still. This guy's not as dumb as he looks.
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one.
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to. You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I know. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for all of this, for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me out of the shit I'd gotten into.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight. The Pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Aranye, the old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oronese lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. Sure, I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt, but that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
If they want to kill me, they'll kill me. If they want to toy with me, they will. She's come to this conclusion weeks ago.
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot? She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. I told you I'm a horrible girl. I told you things break around me.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or... Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire. by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition, a Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. .2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. .1 kilometer away, A point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nest if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fat 72%. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. That's a 28%, yes. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Again? I can't believe this.
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pet Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.